Welcome everyone, this is your host Abraham El Jaguar, a professional game master. First of all, this channel is proudly partnered with the What the Funk shop. Please check out their store for all sorts of products. They have dice, miniatures, game master screens, home decorations, and many other things. You will find the link in the description and in the pinned comment. And make sure that you use my code for a special discount. Tonight I want to talk about the recent quick and classic Asteria session because there were some very important things, very positive things to highlight about that session. You could say that you could encompass all of those positive things into a single thing: teamwork. Teamwork, both when it comes to the theme, the fiction, but also when it comes to the technical details or nuances of the session. When you are playing with your players, you as a game master, you are presenting the situation, and the players interact with that situation. You are all striving towards the same objective, immersing yourself in a fiction created through roleplay. At least when it comes to role playing in tabletop role playing games. This is going to contain spoilers of the session, of course, but as many of you know, the adventurers came face to face with this zombie apocalypse sort of situation. But just before that, they also had a very dangerous encounter with two thrill killers in the underground section of Shark. Both encounters were survived because they worked together. They didn't die, and there were several moments where I thought that there was actually going to be a total party kill, but everybody was assisting each other. When it comes to Munin, he was constantly thinking of using his holy symbol to repel the undead, but sadly their powers were too great. This was not like your typical or normal undead summoning situation by the looks of it, if there is such a thing. He also wielded his torch to attack the undead. He was exposing himself quite a bit, attempting all sorts of ideas, tactics to get the upper hand on the desperate situation. He also did a, how we say, applied a great tactic or consideration in battle against the two thrill killers as he was watching the group's back, suspecting that Cobra was going to attack from behind, which he did. When it comes to Odo, he was constantly assisting and protecting pretty much everyone with his shield. And it was, how you say, funny but appropriate that he was always looking for that shield and asking the guards if they had a spare shield. When that got destroyed, looking for a shield that was dropped in the middle of the zombie apocalypse. And he used that shield to great effect. He protected Odo several times during his risky tactics. When it comes to Peter, he is pretty unconventional when it comes to your average rogue or thief, fighting with a warhammer, taking the enemies on in the front lines. I think this is the first time that I have seen a thief wielding a warhammer with such abandon. So he also contributed greatly to the fight, despite thieves not being exactly, how you say, it is not within their area of expertise to fight up front and personal. And he even shattered the shell of Scorpion, one of the mutant thrill killers, and as expected of Racia, always employing interesting strategies and tactics, playing around with the concept of the swordswoman, blinding and distracting the opponent, confusing the enemies, flanking, attacking from the side, from unorthodox angles. getting that deadly thrust in. I also like it that both Reisha and Odo, they were also thinking of the non-player characters as potential. It might sound a bit cold, but in those survival situations, they were the resources to be employed. If there are guards, you have fighting men that could perhaps assist you in battle. In most cases, in the case of Reisha, she saw the people fighting desperately for their lives, so she encouraged them to join them as they made their escape through Shark. Now, another interesting thing about that teamwork that I was mentioning, putting apart the teamwork within the fiction or within the party dynamics, rather, if you see that the game master, in my case, doesn't fully describe something, all of the information can be obtained through roleplay. In my case, I didn't give the exact dimensions or at the very least a general idea of how wide the tunnels would be. And Giovanni, through roleplay, was looking at the tunnels to see if two people could walk at the same time through the tunnels. In in my case, I was also ready in case the adventurers, that is the players, forgot some detail. They got a particular, how will you say, environmental element, not so accurate. I was ready to insert. You suddenly remember. You are certain that this or that, clarifying the information, not waiting for them to make a mistake based on information that their adventurers would obviously possess. As a game master, you cannot do that. When there is something quite obvious, it is expected that the adventurers know such details. If there is something related to a puzzle, an enigma, sure. But when it is common knowledge, make sure that you inform the player characters by role playing. You are also the senses of the player characters. Sometimes their memories, as they try to remember if they have seen this or that. So it's all about teamwork, both within the party dynamics, but also within the group. Everybody's trying to create that fiction through roleplay. So a highly satisfactory session. And I'm looking forward to the continuation, because there was a dangerous cliffhanger. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. You'll find it in the description within the playlist. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it informative and entertaining. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile. Excuse me, the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, consider joining as a member using the super thanks button. You can also check out the information in the description and in the pinned comment. This has been your host, Abraham L. Jaguar, a professional game master. And remember, roleplay solves everything. Once again, thank you and see you later.